Hi, this is Johnny Shannon from Geospatial Insight, and here we're starting off with something a little bit different. It's not Earth Imagine, but it's the front page for Google Earth Engine. Google Earth Engine, it's got a multiple petabyte archive of geospatial data. It's worldwide coverage spanning over 40 years, including Landsat, Sentinel, MODIS, geospatial information derived from, such as land cover maps, land use maps, and geophysical, political data, and a lot more. If we look at Google Earth Engine, then we can see that we can access the data and process the data using a string of processing languages. So we can have the APIs available as REST or Python, or as in this case, JavaScript. It's great. Those languages are relatively straightforward to pick up. And if you have a look at the code here, then we can pretty much see what's going on. We're selecting an image. We're creating a NDVI from that, and then we're outputting that with this palette. But if you're not a coder, then that is a barrier to entry for using Google Earth Engine. So why am I thinking about Google Earth Engine? Well, it's because Hexagon have looked at that barrier to entry to Google Earth Engine, and they've essentially just smashed through it by creating a whole heap of new Spatial Modeler operators that provide a link between Spatial Modeler and Google Earth Engine as an additional module to Earth Imagine Professional. And so there are a vast number of these new operators coming in the next version of Imagine that will allow data discovery, creation of algorithms, information requests, execution, and even batch execution. But let's have a quick look and see how these integrate with the Spatial Modeler. So here we have something that looks fairly familiar in one sense and a little bit different in another sense. We have our input data, we have our bound selection, and we have our image subtract and image add operators, image divide, and then an output to raster and a preview button. So fairly similar, but the difference is all this is happening within Google Earth Engine. And so if we run this little model, then things happen pretty much the same as if we're having all local data, but all this data is in the cloud, and the output is streaming to our desktops from processing in the cloud as well. And that's just a first glimpse of how useful these additional operators can be. But wait, there's more. If we have a look at try and find some data within the Earth Engine data catalog, it's pretty easy to browse on the web. And once we hit the data that we're looking for, here we got some elevation data from LiDAR over the Netherlands. What we can do is just highlight the little Earth Engine snippet there, copy, paste it into the Spatial Modeler, hook it up to our algorithm, and then hit preview. And there we have it. Our elevation data visualized, streaming in the cloud over the net to our preview browser within Earth Imagine. I think that's really quite amazing. There's more functionality available as well. And so here we have a kind of a mix-up of information that's in the cloud. Here we've got Sentinel data again, and again our standard NDVI operators converting to raster as we did before. But here we have some local data as well. We've got feature data set, which shows some parcel information. And then we use a standard spatial modeler operator here to get statistics for the feature. And then we output locally to a feature data set. And so if we run this model, so we get the output, then it takes a little bit of time to get to all the statistics, but there we have it. And then we can click on preview to preview our NDVI dataset, which is in the clouds. And then we can add in our locally created feature data set there, which is showing the mean NDVI values for all of those parcels as well. So there's how we can incorporate local data with cloud-based data. So the live link extension, it will be an additional module, is coming in version 16.8, which will be released as version 2023 in September this year. You will also require an Earth Engine subscription, a private key, in order to connect to the Earth Engine and run models. However, Hexagon are saying that they will preferentially offer a subscription rate which is lower cost than that you can get straight from Google. And so trying to make it as easy as possible and as cost effective as possible to link up to using the Earth Engine Live Link. I hope that's given you a brief insight into probably the most exciting announcement of the release of the next version of Iridescent Imagine. I'll be back here once that release is out in September this year with more instructional videos of how to start building models using the Earth Engine Live Link. But until then, I hope that's been useful. And for now, I'll say bye-bye.